Nothing beats good old sunlight for lighting, unless you live in Michigan, the second cloudiest spot in the old US of A. Seattle, of course, being the cloudiest. For work or reading, an incandescent 5000 Kelvin color light is about the best substitute for our sun. Yes, I said incandescent. LED lighting is a good second choice after incandescent, and for most instances, good enough substitute for solar lighting. Maybe the worst of the common lighting sources is fluorescent. Fluorescent hums worse than a bishop trying to carry a tune, and flickers worse than a politician taking a stand on an issue. So let me emphasize that if you're going LED lighting, make sure it's flicker-free LEDs. Even though you may not consciously see the flicker, it still messes with your brain. For most people, a flickering LED light is very fatiguing. The same for fluorescent lighting. Both are very fatiguing to the eyes. So why is proper lighting so important in the shop, kitchen, and laundry? This deserves a good talk about, don't you think? Hello anyone, I'm Scott Bain. They call me the Old Farmer, and the channel is now called the official site of the original Old Farmer. And let me thank those who are subscribers and for those who are visiting. Both are greatly appreciated. A comment lets YouTube know that real people are watching a real channel in real time by hitting the like, subscribing, and leaving a comment. First of all, 2 wives' tales that aren't true. Watching TV in the dark does not blind you, or reading in poor lighting won't blind you either. If this is true, Abraham Lincoln would need a white cane to get around. All it does in both cases is tire the eye or strains the eye. Before we get to the discussion of lighting for working areas, it's just as important to have the proper lighting for non-working areas, such as in the evening or in the bedroom. The color temperature for this type of lighting should be between 2400 and 3200 Kelvin. This tells the brain that it's getting close to bedtime. There may be a setting on your phone that takes the blue color out of the screen. Mine does, and I leave it with the blue turned off. If you don't, you may trick your brain into thinking it's daytime and wake up when you look at your phone at night. The way Mrs. Old Farmer and I have it in most areas, we have a choice: mood lighting, which is more red than white in color, or by flicking a switch, make it as bright as a TV studio at 5000 Kelvin in color. Sometimes you need bright lighting, but most times in these areas that are for relaxation, the 2400 to 3200 Kelvin lighting is better for evening times. Harbor Freight is getting better at labeling the color temperature of the lights they sell, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. If it doesn't have a color temperature listed, I don't buy it, with the rare exception of garage steps for Maggie. In this case, any type of lighting would do, but it needed a motion sensor. This is about the only time that I'm not worried about color temperature. So here's a chart that shows what the different color ratings look like. I prefer 5000 Kelvin for working areas. If you start going higher, then the light becomes more blue. So strictly speaking, 5000 to 5500 Kelvin is what I will accept in a work area, with the preference of 5000 Kelvin lighting. At 6000 Kelvin, just about everyone can see the light going into the blue range. We've heard the term sweat the details. With lighting, it's see the details, and that is what is needed in working areas. So if you like mood lighting in your kitchen, have 2 sets of lights, one for working and the other set for mood lighting. Today, the cost of lighting is a small investment, so maybe dual lights is the way to go. It's also safer to work in a full daylight environment. Even if you can see what you're doing in dim lighting, you're more prone to accidents with subdued lighting. So not to shock your eyes at night, you may want a single 2400K light available in your work areas, so that if you need to make a quick trip at night into a work area, you won't shock your eyes into thinking it's daytime. For those who are still in school and are cramming for tests, study in a bright daylight setting and you will remember more and also be able to stay awake a bit easier. If you want a fast, cheap way to throw daylight into a room is to use the Harbor Freight Braun 18,000 lumen LED detachable work light. You can take the two lights off the stand and mount them to the ceiling or wall. I've got one and it's a great light, and it's even better when it's on sale. Mrs. Old Farmer has absconded with mine and bounces the light off the ceiling, and it provides an excellent 5,000 Kelvin lighting for her sewing area. These would make great studio lights for those who do videos. It comes down to the eye can more easily see better details if you stay between 5,000 and 5,500 Kelvin. If you go up to 6,000 Kelvin, you start losing detail because of the way the eye sees. It's my humble opinion, and most folks wouldn't say I'm humble, that if you follow my suggestions for lighting, you will find that in the working areas, you will see better and make fewer mistakes and have fewer injuries. And by staying to subdued lighting in the non-working areas, with the possibility of switching to daylight for cleaning or if you lost something and you're looking for it, I think you will find that in a small way, life will be a bit easier and less stressful. At the very least, it's worth thinking about setting something up this way. Leave a comment if you do your lights this way, or if you're planning to switch to this formula for lighting, or if you just want to say hello. It's always appropriate to drop me a line, a circle, or even a polygram. Before we go, it's important to quickly mention for all who are visiting to subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, and share with friends and family. Now for the most important part, thank you to those who have subscribed. Thank you. And yes, thank you to those who are visiting. We value you too. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so that we may receive a pittance from YouTube to cover expenses. We replaced one camera, tripod, and bought a water-cooled editor for video production, plus all the tools we review. So if you could help us reach that 1,000 subscription point, thank you. Well, this is the old farmer Scott Bain. Be well, be safe, and be kind to someone.
Don't forget to click like and click subscribe on the Old Farmer YouTube channel. And thanks again for watching. Bye.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.